for the tie and to send it to another overtime period. They got it down. Penn State wins.
An overtime win against the eventual champions of the Big Ten. That's how Penn State ended season number 1 for Bill O'Brien. But what's in store for season number 2? For that, Howard went looking for insight in State College.
Well, Mike, I had an opportunity to sit down with Coach O'Brien the day after signing day, and we had an opportunity to talk about recruiting, also some of the goals that he has for the program, and also what he wanted to accomplish in spring ball. Coach O'Brien, thanks for having us here at Penn State.
Good
Coach of the Year.
Thanks, Howard.
Tell me about recruiting. First full year under your belt. Did you meet expectations?
I feel like we did. We have a really strong recruiting staff here that went out and made contact with these young men early on and developed some really good trusting relationships with these guys and their families. But it's really the assistant coaches that do all the work, and they did a fine job of making sure that we improved our team.
Talk about some of the guys like Ferguson, the quarterback, junior college player that's on campus enrolled now, the type of advantage he may have being able to go through the program before some of the younger players.
It's a challenging deal for a lot of these kids. Adam Brenneman, Tyler Ferguson, Jordan Smith, Anthony Smith, and Richie Anderson are 5 guys that are here right now starting in January. It's tough academically. It's a big jump going from high school academics to college academics, and then obviously in this weight room. These guys seem to be hitting the ground running, and we're excited about having the chance to work with them in spring practice, and that does give them a little bit of a leg up going into training camp.
Obviously, the great success that you had on the field, there were suitors that came in and wanted to speak with you. What made you come back to Penn State?
Mostly because of my family and what I thought was the best thing for them. I listened, but that's about as far as it went. I love the players here. They made a commitment to us, and we made a commitment to them.
What did you learn about yourself as you went through the process? It got you prepared really for going into your second season?
I learned about how much I really care about these players. When you're an assistant, you've got your guys, you know, your position or your unit. You're not in charge of the whole team, and now you're a head coach, and you really form a bond with these players. That's a very special bond. And so, you know, I learned that about myself, and I really enjoy being a head coach, but I've got a long way to go and a lot of improvement to do.
Now that recruiting's behind you, you now can start to get prepared for spring ball. What are some of the goals that you have for spring ball coming up?
When we take the field for that first spring practice, I'm hoping to see a football team that understands the way we want things done. The other goal is to develop the quarterback. You know, whoever plays quarterback for us this year will be basically a new quarterback. And then defensively, obviously we have a new defensive coordinator in John Butler that's going to run the defense now, and I think our players are really excited about that. So there's some goals to be met there, and we're just really excited about getting out there and practicing and coaching.
In your room, when you're sitting around and you talked about it as an offensive staff, do the ideas flow freely?
I don't think there's any question about that. We have a veteran room in there. We've got guys that have coached at every level. There's a lot of great exchange of ideas in there. Sometimes they're long meetings. Sometimes there's some knockdown, drag-out arguments in there because we have strong beliefs. But at the end of the day, I have to make the final decision. But I really think there's a good flow of information in there that's made us a better offense, hopefully over time.
Coach, thanks a lot for your time. I
You
really
got it.
appreciate your hospitality here and continued success into the future.
You got it, Howard. Thank you.
Well, the numbers show how effective Bill O'Brien was his first year, especially on offense. His team averaged 10 more points a game in his first season, mostly aided by the no longer dormant passing game. Remember, he did this with a QB last year. He was just a former walk-on.